Top 109 Marcus Tullius Cicero quotes. A room without books is like a body without a soul. More is lost by indecision than wrong decision. Indecision is the thief of opportunity. It will steal you blind. Silence is one of the great arts of conversation. A happy life consists in tranquility of mind. While there's life, there's hope. If I had more time, I would have written a shorter letter. We study history not to be clever in another time, but to be wise always. If you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need. To err is human, but to persevere in error is only the act of a fool. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. It is exercise alone that supports the spirits, and keeps the mind in vigor. Sometimes I do what I want to. The rest of the time I do what I have to. If you wish to persuade me, you must think my thoughts, feel my feelings, and speak my words. Life without learning is death. To be ignorant of what occurred before you were born is to remain always a child. For what is the worth of human life, unless it is woven into the life of our ancestors by the records of history? Diseases of the soul are more dangerous and more numerous than those of the body. Read at every weight, read at all hours, read within leisure, read in times of labor, read as one goes in, read as one goeth out. The task of the educated mind is simply put, read to lead. Life is nothing without friendship. A nation can survive its fools, and even the ambitious. But it cannot survive treason from within. The safety of the people shall be the highest law. In nothing do men more nearly approach the gods, than in giving health to men. What then is freedom? The power to live as one wishes. The more laws, the less justice. The purpose of education is to free the student from the tyranny of the present. Probability is the very guide of life. Any man can make mistakes, but only an idiot persists in his error. The Jews belong to a dark and repulsive force. One knows how numerous this clique is, how they stick together and what power they exercise through their unions. They are a nation of rascals and deceivers. To live long, live slowly. Loyalty is what we seek in friendship. It is the peculiar quality of a fool to perceive the faults of others and to forget his own. Times are bad. Children no longer obey their parents, and everyone is writing a book. The life of the dead is placed in the memory of the living. What society does to its children, so will its children do to society. Before beginning, plan carefully. The life given us, by nature is short, but the memory of a well-spent life is eternal. In times of war, the law falls silent. Those who do not know history will forever remain children. History is the witness of the times, the light of truth, the life of memory, the teacher of life, the messenger of antiquity. Man is his own worst enemy. Live as brave men, and if fortune is adverse, front its blows with brave hearts. The life of the dead is placed on the memories of the living. The love you gave in life keeps people alive beyond their time. Anyone who was given love will always live on in another's heart. Dum Spiro, Spiro. The higher we are placed, the more humbly we should walk. The wise are instructed by reason, average minds by experience, the stupid by necessity and the brute by instinct. Poor is the nation that has no heroes, but poorer still is the nation that having heroes, fails to remember and honor them. To be ignorant of what occurred before you were born is to remain always a child. The soil of their native land is dear to all the hearts of mankind. Politicians are not born, they are excreted. The greater the difficulty, the greater the glory. Freedom is a possession of inestimable value. I have always been of the opinion that unpopularity earned by doing what is right is not unpopularity at all, but glory. Confidence is that feeling by which the mind embarks in great and honorable courses with a sure hope and trust in itself. The closer the collapse of the empire, the crazier its laws are. The face is a picture of the mind with the eyes as its interpreter. Freedom is participation in power. There are two ways to resolve conflicts, through violence or through negotiation. Violence is for wild beasts, negotiation is for human beings. The authority of those who teach is often an obstacle to those who want to learn. A thankful heart is not only the greatest virtue but the parent of all the other virtues. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words but to live by them. If a man cannot feel the power of God when he looks upon the stars, then I doubt whether he is capable of any feeling at all. Life is short, but art lives forever. Old age, the crown of life, our play's last act. I remember the very thing that I do not wish to. I cannot forget the things I wish to forget. The real friend is another self. The pursuit, even of the best things, ought to be calm and tranquil. Rightly defined philosophy is simply the love of wisdom. Nature has planted in our minds an insatiable longing to see the truth. Where is there dignity unless there is honesty? I am not ashamed to confess that I am ignorant of what I do not know. Our thoughts are free. There is nothing God cannot do. Softly. Softly. I want none but the judges to hear me. The Jews have already gotten me into a fine mess, as they have many other gentlemen. I have no desire to furnish further grist for their mills. Within the character of the citizen lies the welfare of the nation. The sinews of war are infinite money. The foundation of justice is good faith. The aim of forensic oratory is to teach, to delight, to move. It is fortune, not wisdom, that rules man's life. The science of love is the philosophy of the heart. Trust no one unless you have eaten much salt with him. Laws are silent in time of war. The man who backbites an absent friend, nay, who does not stand up for him when another blames him, the man who angles for bursts of laughter and for the repute of a wit, who can invent what he never saw, who cannot keep a secret, that man is black at heart, mark and avoid him. After victory, you have more enemies. Love is the attempt to form a friendship inspired by beauty. No one has the right to be sorry for himself for a misfortune that strikes everyone. History is indeed the witness of the times, the light of truth. The causes of events are ever more interesting than the events themselves. Glory follows virtue as if it were its shadow. The beginnings of all things are small. Brevity is a great charm of eloquence. They condemn what they do not understand. Taxes are the sinews of the state. We learn nothing from history except that we learn nothing from history. Freedom suppressed and again regained bites with keener fangs than freedom never endangered. Philosophy is the true mother of science. What nobler employment, or more valuable to the state, than that of the man who instructs the rising generation?
Friendship improves happiness and abates misery, by the doubling of our joy and the dividing of our grief. Never injure a friend, even in jest. Every word that is unnecessary only pours over the side of a brimming mind. We should never so entirely avoid danger as to appear irresolute and cowardly, but, at the same time, we should avoid unnecessarily exposing ourselves to danger, than which nothing can be more foolish. Man's best support is a very dear friend.